What is Adobe Campaign Classic and Adobe Campaign Standard? Adobe Campaign Classic, ACC, is a robust enterprise-level marketing automation tool designed for complex, large-scale campaigns. It offers advanced customization, database management, and supports on-premise or hybrid deployment. Adobe Campaign Standard, ACS, is a cloud-based, simplified version with a modern interface, focusing on ease of use, faster deployment, and streamlined campaign management. What are the core features of Adobe Campaign Classic? Key features include advanced segmentation and targeting, extra multi-channel campaign orchestration, email, SMS, push notifications, direct mail, etc. Workflow automation for marketing processes, real-time personalization using data from multiple sources, reporting and analytics for campaign performance. Can you explain the Adobe Campaign Classic architecture? Adobe Campaign Classic operates on a three-tier architecture: Client Console, a rich desktop application that marketers and developers use for campaign creation, workflows, and reporting. Application Server handles business logic, workflow execution, and campaign scheduling. Database Layer stores all marketing data, logs, and configurations. The Client Console connects to the Application Server, which interacts with the database, enabling distributed campaign management. How do workflows work in Adobe Campaign Classic? Workflows in ACC are visual automation sequences that enable marketers to define campaign logic, data manipulation, and execution steps. They include activities such as data extraction and loading, audience segmentation, content personalization, message preparation, and delivery. What is the purpose of schemas in Adobe Campaign Classic? Schemas define the data model in ACC. They describe the structure of tables, fields, data types, and relationships. There are out-of-the-box schemas for recipients, deliveries, subscriptions, etc. Custom schemas to store organization-specific data. Schemas ensure data integrity and enable workflows, queries, and personalization to operate on consistent datasets. How does targeting work in Adobe Campaign Classic? Targeting is achieved by defining query activities within workflows. Users can filter recipients based on attributes like demographics, behavior, or previous campaign engagement. Targeting steps include defining criteria using filters or queries, combining multiple conditions with and/or logic, excluding specific audiences, saving target groups for reuse in future campaigns. What are deliveries in Adobe Campaign Classic? Deliveries are outgoing communications sent via channels such as email, SMS, push notifications, or direct mail. They include content templates, target audience, personalization settings, sending parameters. How is personalization handled in Adobe Campaign Classic? Personalization in ACC uses dynamic fields and JavaScript expressions within delivery templates. Personalization can occur at content level, example, hi % of recipient dot first name %. Conditional display, example, showing different offers based on location. Data-driven recommendations fetched from external sources. Explain the different types of logs in Adobe Campaign Classic. There are three main types of logs. Delivery logs record the status of each sent message, sent, failed, pending. Tracking logs capture recipient interactions such as opens, clicks, and unsubscribes. Broadlog RCP, maintains a detailed history of communications per recipient. What is the use of the offer management module? Offer management enables personalized offers to be dynamically inserted into marketing communications. It allows marketers to define multiple offers, set eligibility rules, track acceptance rates, automate delivery of the most relevant offers per user profile. How does Adobe Campaign Classic handle real-time events? Real-time events in ACC are handled through event-based triggers integrated with external systems via APIs or Message Center. For example, a user's purchase triggers a thank you email. An abandoned cart event triggers a reminder email. These events are processed instantly, bypassing batch workflows. What is Message Center in Adobe Campaign Classic? Message Center is ACC's transactional messaging engine. It handles one-to-one personalized communications triggered by real-time events. Examples: password resets, purchase confirmations, shipping updates, faster delivery via preloaded templates and high-priority processing. How do you integrate Adobe Campaign Classic with Adobe Experience Cloud? Integration involves using Adobe IMS, Identity Management System, for authentication, data connectors to sync audiences and profiles, Adobe Analytics integration for performance tracking, Adobe Target integration for personalization, Adobe Audience Manager for segment sharing. What are typologies in Adobe Campaign Classic? Typologies are sets of rules applied to deliveries to avoid sending conflicting communications, limit delivery frequency to a recipient, block messages failing compliance checks, example, missing unsubscribe links. They ensure deliverability, best practices, and brand consistency. How do you manage data privacy in Adobe Campaign Classic? ACC supports GDPR and CCPA compliance by allowing data deletion requests, providing consent management through opt-in, opt-out fields, logging data processing activities, encrypting sensitive data in storage and transit. What is the purpose of typologies in Adobe Campaign Classic? Typologies are used to define rules and validations for campaigns before they are executed. They help ensure compliance with business policies, deliverability best practices, and legal requirements. For example, typologies can prevent sending duplicate messages or exceeding contact frequency limits. What are the main delivery channels supported in Adobe Campaign Classic? The main channels are email, SMS/MMS, push notifications, direct mail, call center triggers via integration, social media via connectors. How do you monitor delivery performance in ACC? You can monitor performance using Delivery Dashboard for real-time stats, Tracking Reports for opens, clicks, bounces, Heat Maps for click distribution, Workflow Logs for identifying processing errors. What is a broad log and why is it important? A broad log RCP, is a historical log of all deliveries to recipients. It records the campaign ID, delivery status, send date time, personalization details. It is critical for avoiding duplicate sends, auditing campaigns, and tracking engagement. How is JavaScript used in Adobe Campaign Classic? JavaScript is used for workflow scripting, data transformation before sending, conditional personalization logic, automating repetitive tasks. ACC uses an ECMA script-based engine to run scripts. Explain the difference between hard bounce and soft bounce in ACC. Hard bounce, permanent delivery failure due to invalid or non-existent addresses. These recipients are usually quarantined automatically. Soft bounce, temporary delivery failure due to reasons like a full mailbox or server downtime. A CC retries sending soft bounces before marking them as failed. How is data imported into Adobe Campaign Classic? Data import can be done via file loading, separated values, text file, XML, API integration, database connectors, ODBC, JDBC, scheduled workflows to automate regular imports. How does Adobe Campaign Classic ensure deliverability? It ensures deliverability through IP warming, DKIM, SPF, and DMARC authentication, bounce management, typology rules to avoid spam triggers, engagement-based targeting. What is the role of delivery templates? Delivery templates are pre-configured message blueprints containing content layout, personalization fields, target audience definitions, sending configurations. They save time and ensure brand consistency. How do you handle quarantined addresses in ACC? Quarantined addresses are excluded from future deliveries due to repeated failures. They can be reviewed in the quarantine management section, reactivated if the issue is temporary, example, soft bounce, permanently excluded if invalid, example, hard bounce.